Hello there! My name is Chanel with Needle Rebellion. I'm here again just to talk to you guys about why I started knitting. Like, how did this girl become a knitter? Let's talk about it. So, I was at a place in my life where I was really kind of lost, to be honest with you guys. I am that overachiever. I have to do all the things. I have to go to school for 20 million years. I have to have the career and all the things and just, honey, just all over the place. Like my husband said, you try to pile 5 or 10 pounds of, I'm not going to say the word because he's inappropriate, but you try to pile 10 pounds of, you know what, into a 5-pound bag. And that is so true because I am the type of person, I run on deadlines. Like, I am going to do all the things in like 2 hours. I'm going to do it all. And it drives him nuts. But, that's just part of my personality. That's just who I am. I am always on the go. I'm always doing something, and I'm always trying to overachieve and do everything, which is not possible. And I found that it was just kind of wearing me down. So I have spent almost all my life in school. Like, I feel like this is the longest stretch of me not being in school. And I tried to go back to school, but I was just overwhelmed. And I was like, I cannot go back and get my doctorate. So by trade, I'm a nurse practitioner. I'm a kidney transplant nurse practitioner. So I take care of post-kidney and pancreas patients after they've been transplanted. So I'm the person that picks up afterwards. And so I've been doing that. I've been doing transplant all my life, to be honest. My dad was a kidney transplant patient, and he was transplanted. I think I was probably like maybe 10 or 11, somewhere in there. And so I've been dealing with transplant all my life. And so in my career, I decided to do something transplant related as well, even though that's not what I started out to do, surprisingly. But that's kind of where I landed. And so I did all the things. I went to school, and then I got married, and I graduated from my bachelor's of nursing program. I graduated from that the same weekend that I was getting married. Yes, girl. That was... See, I told you, I try to cram a whole bunch of stuff in at one time. And so to add to that, a week later, or a week and a half later, I moved to a whole new city. I had accepted a job as a transplant coordinator at the University of Utah, and I moved across country from North Carolina to Utah. And I had never been to Utah. I interviewed over the telephone. I hadn't even come out here for an interview because they were like, "Oh my gosh, you're getting married this week and you're graduating from your BSN program. I don't think you're gonna have time to fly out here." And I was like, "Well, if y'all need me to come, I'll come because that's my personality. I'm gonna cram everything all in at one time." And so I came out here. Or I didn't. They interviewed me over the phone, but I moved out here. I had gotten the job. I moved out here and all the things. Okay. All right. So then after that, I get pregnant. We have a baby. And then one day I just had this idea. I am going to go back to nurse practitioner school. And so I did. I applied to one school, to the University of Colorado. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to go there and I'm going to become a nurse practitioner. Like, no thought to it, just did it, okay? Because that's how I operate. And so I went, I applied and got in and moved to Colorado. We packed up everything, we moved to Colorado, and I did that. And I went through school and all the things, and then the University of Utah called back and said, "Hey, are you willing to come back?" And so finally, I said, "I'll come back." Okay, so then I am in school, and then I move with a baby, with all the things. I'm like all over, okay? And so I moved back to Utah, and after I moved back, shortly thereafter, my dad passed away, and that was the hardest thing that has ever happened in my life. Like, to lose my best friend, to lose the person that I can talk to about anything and that can help guide me. Like, my dad had words of wisdom for days. Like, any situation, he had a word of wisdom for it. And it was just so sad. It was like I had just lost everything. Everything. Okay? And so I got to a place where, you know, like I was doing all of these things, but I didn't know who I was. Like, I had lost me. I didn't know myself. Like, I'm just gonna be transparent with you guys. I'm gonna tell y'all, girls, I didn't even know who I was. I had no clue. And, you know, I was just lost. I was so lost. I was doing all the things. I was accomplishing all the goals. I was checking off all the boxes. And you would think that I had it all together because I had all the things. I had this career that I love. I was taking care of these patients. I was taking care of my family. I was taking care of my husband and my son and all the things. I was doing all of these things, but I didn't know the essence of who Chanel was. Like, I didn't know. Like, I was being defined by all of these things. And according to what society would say, that I was successful. But on the inside, girls, I was a total wreck. I didn't even know. And so I was visiting with some family, and we had gone to Snowbird, and someone asked me, so what do you like to do for fun, Chanel? And I was like, exactly. I couldn't even answer the people. I was like, what do I like to do for fun? I don't even know what I like to do for fun. Is there a such thing as fun? Like, I didn't even know people had fun. Like, it was crazy. I was like, I don't know. And it just kind of was kind of hard for me. Like, I was like, wow. I was like, I don't even know what I like to do for fun. Like, I literally don't know myself. And so, well, fast forward, my friend at work, she was a knitter, and she was like, so Chanel, do you want to come and learn to knit? And it was like my birthday weekend, and she invited a group of us ladies to come, and I was like, you know what? I really don't want to go, but I guess I'll go. I'll check out this knitting thing. And so I went, and girls, let me tell you, it totally changed my life. Like, those needles changed my life. Can you believe, like, a pair of needles will change your life? Well, on that day, some needles changed my life. So I went to Blazing Needles, which, you know, shout out to Blazing Needles, the most amazing, you know, yarn shop in the Salt Lake City area. You have to check it out if you're ever in town. And you have to look me up if you're ever in town so we can get together, so we can knit together, okay? But I went, and they were teaching us how to make a hat. And so I started out, you know, I was making, you know, she was teaching me what to do, and I'm working with my little hands. And I did not realize how much I enjoyed working with my hands until I started knitting. So I started on the hat, and it was like I just couldn't stop. Like, it was just like something within me was like, this is your thing. And I honestly say that it was a God-given gift. Like, God gave me this gift. He was like, girl, you a total wreck. I don't know what's wrong with you. You got to get yourself together. So I'm going to give this to you so you can get yourself together. And let me tell you, did it work? So I was like just knitting away, and I was like, I just can't stop. Like, I had knitted that hat. I don't even know how long it took me to knit that hat. It did not take me that long, you know, for a beginner. It did not take me that long. I had gone to work that next week, and I was like, okay, I'm getting ready to get down to these decreases. And I don't know what it means by decreases. Brittany, can you show me what it means to decrease? And so she showed me all the things, and I was like, I need like these double points, and I don't know what they're talking about with these DPNs, but I need those. You got some of those, girls? Like, and she was like, okay, I got some, I'll bring them, or something. I can't remember. She may not have had the size, but whatever. I ended up making it work. Girl, I did magic loop before I knew what magic loop was. And so I was able to finish that hat without using the double points. Y'all don't think that y'all can do that. It was definitely very difficult, but anyway, so I did it, and I got that hat done, and then I was like, okay, I need to move on to the next project. Like, I just constantly feel like I have to be doing something. I have to be knitting something. And so that was in October of 2017. So it's been a little over a year now that I've been knitting, and I have made so many projects in this year. And we'll talk a little bit more about my approach to knitting as blog posts come along. And we'll kind of just chit chat about it, and I'll write about it and all the things. But I am telling you, like, I fell in love, like in love. In those needles, I found freedom. And that's kind of the premise of this whole blog, is like rebelling and feeling free. Like, I felt so free. I finally found something that was just for me, something that I could do for me, something that was just all mine. Like, I didn't have to share this with anyone. Like, this is mine. And a lot of you who are moms and wives, you know that a lot of times nothing is yours. Nothing is yours at all. And I finally found something that was all mine. And it has just changed my world in so many ways. I've made friendships. I have gotten to know others through knitting. Knitting is like a topic of discussion. Like, we'll talk about that too. Like, you go somewhere and you're knitting, you make friendships from knitting. Like, I have genuinely made some friendships from just being out in public, knitting, and people coming up to you, asking you what you're making, you know, encouraging them to knit, encouraging them to find their true life's passion, all of those things. And that's what I found in knitting. And I'm so excited that I get to share all of that with you guys. And I hope that you love knitting as much as I do. It's like changed my life. Like, I made this sweater. It's the Tin Can Knits antler cardigan. And I think this was my second sweater type project. I made my first sweater in January. So I started knitting in October. I made my first sweater, or started my first sweater class in January and made my first sweater. So it wasn't that long. I made socks in between there. I made mittens. Girls, like, when I started knitting, I just took off. Like, I was just like, I'm knitting all the things. But now that I've been knitting for a while, a little over a year now, I've kind of started to find my passion in what I like to knit most, which you guys will see because it's kind of a theme, because y'all will see everything that I'm knitting. Y'all be like, girl, I know what you like to knit. So I'm super excited, and I hope that you guys will find freedom in knitting as well. And share your stories down below. Like, share your stories. Tell me how you came into knitting. Tell me how knitting has changed your life, because it has set me free. I finally found something, like I said, just for me. Something I didn't have to share with anybody else. Something that I can just use to escape. I can just go to my room and I can just escape from all the days, you know, worries and just the cares of the world. I can just retreat and I can knit. And literally, I'm able to let go of everything. Like, everything that I've been going through that day with my needles and my yarn, I let it all go. It's just all just leaves. It really just leaves, and it just sets me free every single day. And I know that so many of you can share and you feel the same way. So just share and tell us how knitting has set you free, how it has changed your life, and what you love most about knitting. Tell me all the things. So thank you so much for tuning in, and just thank you guys. Thank you for being a part of my Needle Rebellion tribe, because it's going to be a whole tribe of us. We are going to set a knitting revolution. We are going to be the Needle Rebellion everywhere we go. Like, they're going to be like, oh, they part of the Needle Rebellion. Oh, I know them girls. They part of that's what they're going to be saying about us. They're going to be like, they're part of their rebellion. So thank you so much, guys, again. And please subscribe to all the things. You can find me everywhere. I am on Facebook. I am on Instagram. I am on YouTube. And of course, needlerebellion.com, where you're finding me now. I am at all the places. So follow me, check things out, share with me, let me know what you guys are up to. I would love to hear from you. And you guys have a great day. And of course, We are crafting a rebellion one stitch at a time. Thanks.